Trump is really showing a lot of people how to take these people on. We've got this never Trumper problem that I think is kind of like a fly on an elephant's ass. But people make it out to be bigger than it is because these were supposedly the intellectual leaders of our party. They've been rendered irrelevant. They know it. That's why they're ticked off.
I need your help to get Donald Trump's record out to everybody.
Hey TFN fans, this is Ovation Eddie. TFN is giving me the opportunity to share with you how I've been affected by the recent conservative purge on YouTube. You may recognize some videos from my Ovation Eddie channel over the past 2 years that exposed the liberal lunacy of the left. Ovation Eddie and its 42,500 subscribers is gone. I created a backup channel, Ovation Eddie 2. My goal is to expose the left and hopefully change minds among independents and moderate Democrats out there. But I can't do that if my videos only get shown within an echo chamber. Please support Ovation Eddie 2. You can type it in the search bar in YouTube and it will come up.
President Trump saying he's narrowed down the list of possible replacements for Director of National Intelligence after his original nominee dropped out.
Americans need to know this.
President Trump's top pick for Director of National Intelligence, Texas Congressman John Ratcliffe, withdrawing his name for the appointment.
So let's bring in ABC News Chief Political Analyst Matthew Dowd, who's joining us from Texas. Matthew, good morning. I want to start with this story about Congressman John Ratcliffe, who's just taken himself out of the running for the job of Director of National Intelligence. It was interesting to hear the president say that he relies on the media to vet his nominees. To your mind, how does that square with his constant refrain of fake news?
Well, you also could ask us, how does it square with when he said he only hires the best people?
He only hires the best people.
And if you take a look at the country, we're less white, we're less married, we're less churched, less people go to church in the course of this, and we're more socially progressive, especially among millennials and younger voters in the course of that. When you look at those demographics, for any Republican to win nationally in this state, and it's exceedingly difficult for Donald Trump, it puts it in a huge advantage for Hillary Clinton.
And I think the sort of outrageous over-the-topness of Trump on immigration is not only going to create a huge margin for Hillary Clinton among Latinos and also Asian Americans.
Why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask?
This election is, I think, fairly predictable what is likely to happen on Election Day.
The President-elect of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
Definitely that Hillary, the odds are very favorable to her.
That's us.
No, just in a number of factors, I'll disclose that she'll be the next president of the United States.
And I'm sorry that we did not win this election. Donald Trump is going to be our president.
No person has ever come back from being down where Donald Trump is today. He doesn't seem to be running a campaign that is appealing to more than 40 or 41 or 42% of the country. Doesn't seem to be actually running a campaign that appeals. He's going to get 50 or 55 million votes, but the odds on, look at the states, looking at the data, that she will win election. She will win election, and sort of set up to your question, she'll win election with, in all likelihood, less than 50% of the vote, and she'll win election where half of her voters won't have voted for her. They'll voted against Donald Trump.
And I'm sorry.
That's a difficult problem for a leader to face.
Hi. As a journalist, what ethical considerations arise when you're covering an election for, all the people watching?
Or not, but I actually try to step back and sort of get a read on what does this mean, right, in an objective way. And so the sort of main ethical standard that I have for myself. Well, you also could ask us, how does it square with when he said he only hires the best people?
The early voting in lots of states, both sides trying to play the spin game. Matt Dowd, you're a world-class political operative. What are you seeing from some of these early voting states?
Well, about 10 million people have already voted as of this morning, so it's a huge number already. And when you look at it across state to state, that on average, it's the Democrats right now that are turning out more than the Republicans. I think so. The first few days of this, and the first 10 million, advantage Hillary Clinton. You look at places like North Carolina, you look at places like Florida, you look at places like Arizona. All of those places are an advantage to Hillary Clinton and her turnout operation.
And I have to catch myself, and I look at myself, and sometimes I don't always do it right, is how can I say what I think is going on in a manner which is it's objectively is fundamentally going on. So if I make a prediction, if I say Hillary Clinton is likely to be president of the United States, it's not because, quote unquote, I want Hillary Clinton to be. It's because I look at data, look at polls, look at the country, look where they're, and that's what it tells me. So the ethics for me is about getting past my own biases as best I can and trying to tell the listeners or the viewers what I think is really going on.
Well, I think she has to be careful from crossing the line between confidence to cockiness, and she can't get to cockiness. In the end, many times voters get more enthusiastic if they think you're going to win. So as she looks like she has a lead in the polls, which I think is around 6 or 7, not 12, I think it's more like 6 or 7, that actually helps among her voters to get more enthusiastic.
And what would Donald Trump have to do to turn things around?
Prayer. I mean, I think it's a very difficult prospect. After his sort of weekend of airing his grievances, he needs to be a little bit like Kramer and Seinfeld and hope for a Festivus miracle.
This gathering is a testament to the power of faith and is one of the great customs of our nation. And I hope to be here 7 more times with you.
A huge wave for Hillary Clinton, but most times when candidates have a lead of this size 2 weeks out, it tends to close up towards the end.
Yeah, my expectation is on Election Day, this is going to be about a 5 or a 6 point race.
Said Hillary Clinton has a 95% chance of winning. You sticking with that?
Maybe 96 this morning.
To step back and sort of get a read on what does this mean?
Right, in an objective way.
I think Donald Trump's only chance would be like the New York Giants, coming across town, going to Madison Square Garden, and beating the New York Rangers on their ice.
Anything's possible.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
Donald Trump is the President of the United States.
It is now 11:30 in the East. You hear that chime? We have a projection. It is a big one. It is the state of Florida. 29 electoral votes. They go to Donald Trump. He said all along he was going to win that state. He's got a home in that state. He worked hard in that state. He has pulled out a victory there. He is pulling ahead of Hillary Clinton. You see it right there, 222 electoral votes to 197.
Donald Trump absolutely needed it. He got it. And now, as we've talked about, he has many different ways to get to the 270 votes he needs to be the next president of the United States.
We know that Hillary Clinton is not too far away from here in Times Square in a hotel with Bill Clinton and Chelsea. And George, just a couple of hours ago, we were getting details from inside the Clinton campaign down to what their granddaughter Charlotte was wearing, that she had an H on her T-shirt and what the catering was. And I think the fact that how silent they are right now speaks volumes to how how silent they are right now speaks volumes to how absolutely nervous they must be at this stage of the night.
Yeah, no one is quiet over here at Trump headquarters. In fact, I said people were smiling and laughing. Now they're jumping up and down, screaming, high-fiving, and we're hearing those chants that were once Florida, Florida, Florida. Now they're saying President Trump, President Trump. And there is massive celebration going on here, shouting, smiling, people taking pictures. I think there's even a group singing right now. This is a very unexpected turn, and now this crowd won't stop cheering for the man they came here to support. The night started out somber. It is anything but right now, George.
I am your voice.
Now they're saying President Trump, President Trump.